Okay, pilots, we're gonna go a little bit further on my LX model F-4 Phantom Jolly Rogers. Now, last video I showed you how I got this stuff here together. I got my elevator a little bit tighter. Okay, had to go in there and smooth my flat spot out a little bit more to where the screw would actually go into a groove and lock into it. See, so that's what I've done there to get that screw to lock in a little bit better. That's all I could do. That's all I could do, and it did tighten it up. Got my seam glued here. Okay, you didn't want to watch glue dry, but I take here it is, a 90-degree awl like this right here. Okay, and I just kind of poke holes this side, that side, wherever glue's gonna be. Down here on the exhaust ports, done the same thing. Now, as you can see, it kind of looks like it's got a real deep downward angle, but that's the way it had marks on it to glue it. Had a groove there, and with a little tooth where you line that tooth up to put it on there. So I mean, it's on there the way it's supposed to be. See? All right. Wasn't many pictures or anything in the instructions to show you, so you just had to do it. My light covers is coming. Motion RC gave me a tracking number and everything. It's coming. Maybe next Wednesday, or Wednesday, excuse me. Let's see. What else was I going to tell you? Of course, all the rest of the LEDs won't have the covers on. I gotta wait. Now, I've kind of got, oh goodness, the LX model. Let me just pull that out there and show you where I've kind of got my EC5 there on it, you know. And the BEC, I got a BEC hooked up to it, a good BEC. They ask you to put the BEC on. Now that's a bird nest for sure right there right now, and it's even gonna get worse when I start sticking these wing leads into it. Now it's got a little small hole. I can see the hole down in the bottom down there, but it's not really big. So I'm gonna actually make that hole bigger. I've already had the wings on it, test fitted them. It's a little tricky getting the wings in. All right. And I was gonna show you this before I get them screws in it. All right. See if I can get this up. Okay. It's gonna be a little while before I get my ring burners and my center burner. It's gonna be probably a month because they're coming from Hong Kong. So there's ESCs sitting in there. Okay, 2 of them. Now I've got, I don't know, let me get my lamps on here. I don't have my lights on. All right, I've cut the side that has the electronics showing. Okay. And it has this plastic covering over them with little holes in it. So because I couldn't tell which side was the heat dispenser side, which is this side with the piece of metal. See? So I then cut the other side and just found out that it had a piece of plastic on it, you know, with holes in it. So I went ahead and just done it on both of them, on both sides, both the ESCs. Cut them covers off. Now, they can't really go anywhere, pilots. I mean, they can't go in, they can't come out because the leads are pulling it this way. I mean, they ain't going nowhere. They had them glued on top of each other and laying flat down on that. And I said, no, that ain't gonna work. But you can see in other videos, RC Informer video, he separated his. But he kind of connected them and glued them in there, but I don't think they're going anywhere. If they do, they do. Here's our EDFs. Okay, 70 millimeter, 1900 kVs, outrunners. Outside of it spins. Now this thing's glued in there, and it's going to be a pain to get that thing out. Both of them. I mean, it's going to be a pain. But I'm going to wait and do that later when the rest of my parts gets here. We'll worry about that later. But I just got to take the wing stuff back off because the wing mount is right there. So you've got to have these mounted on there. I could leave it loose and not, not worry about it. Which, let's see. No, I better not. I better hook all the things back up. Little plastic clip, 2 long screws. You pray your screws line up with the holes. Now again, on the instruction manual, it's got the instructions for a kit model to be put together. So it shows you all the stuff, all how to take it apart, put it back together, or put, first time putting it back together. Putting it together, if I can get it out right. It just don't give you a lot of information. Now I'm looking for my screwdriver, there it is. They provide you with a nice metal, a magnetic tip long screwdriver here. Because you've got to get in a pretty deep hole in that where in the assembly of the tail. I got a bite on everything. Feels pretty snug. Yep. And then we've got 2 small screws on the side here. It's got a plastic cover that goes across it, and you got 2 screws, but you don't have to take one out to get it. But we gotta hope our hole lines up. There it is. I got a bite. My corks all over the place. Fish on. Let's see here. And you can't always bet that the screw is going in straight. I'm pretty sure you've run across that yourself. Now we got to put our ESC cover back on. And then got 2 plastic covers that held in with a screw. Overlaps the cover, holds it in. Again, you pray you hit that hole. I mean, I'm not down in the model at all, pilots. These other models is like this, but you just, you gotta show it a little love. I like this model because it had them slats, leading edge slats on it. I like that operation there. Okay, the wings now. Got 2 mounts. We've got our aluminum support rod. And we got a wing here. Alright. We got a lot of leads too, and them leads don't just go in the hole right to the side of the fuselage. You got to run them through a channel here and into a hole. And that's what I was talking about. I don't know if I said it or not, but I got to cut this hole a little bit bigger. I know I do. Because I got some LED leads that's going to be going in it. And I might even have to cut the channel there even more. There's things you got to do like that. So we're going to line up our aluminum rod into the center hole. And get that one back there lined up. And then you just kind of got to flex the wing a little bit, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. There. Now we're going to make sure we get our wires out here. And slide in there. Now I've already got the screws started. The screws was not started, they in the bag. We're just going to make sure we got a lot of our leads here. They're not pinched. I got a lead pinched. Just look like it a little bit. Get out of the hook. Oh, okay. Down in. Oh, son of a gun, the screwdriver fell on the floor. Fell on the floor. I tell you, fell on the floor. Again, just kind of using your body here. I get a pretty good snug on it, not real tight. LED lead. I gotta cut that short when it gets into the fuselage. Alright. If you like my stand, I seen it on eBay the other day, but I paid $85 for it. About, heck, it's probably been 6 years, maybe 5 or 6 years, and it's 110 now plus shipping, I think. But it's a nice stand. I like it. Screwdriver. Let me get this wing. Out of the way. Now I did super glue the let me show you this. I was going to show you this too. As you can see, you got this little channel at the end here. Your screw's going to go down in that channel where it's locked and won't come back out. See what I'm saying? But this aluminum rod here goes into another aluminum rod and is, you know, keeps it from bending, right? But it went all the way down in it. I mean, if I let it go, I might not have got it back out. So I glued it about half in, half out. Super glue, aluminum. Yeah, LX models got their little battery connector there that probably was back in the 80s. Come on, man. But hey, some people still use them type. I've seen them on planes. Just one bullet for red, one bullet for black. I guess maybe it's a little safer for some people. I don't know. Never done it before. Yeah. Got a lot of leads here. We got channel 1, which is ailerons. But we got a wire here that's got everything tied up. What is that? Retracts. Retracts is a 2 leads. Looks like a LED lead instead of a servo lead, because LX model uses a control box on the inside of the fuselage there to control the movement of the landing gear. And it also, the same control box will control a delayed door if it's got a door on it. They use the same system on about everything that I've bought anyway. Now, like this away. Same thing over here. Cutting about 3 millimeters off of it, or you know, make it 3 millimeters bigger, square instead of a rectangle. I know it's going to be a, you know, maybe a little bigger hole, but I can always take, heck, I can take one of these pieces I've cut out of it here. That thick on both sides. And if I wanted to, heck, I'd get my leads in there and just take that and glue it right on top of it to hide everything. It ain't nothing. Now, I want to do this too. I want to make my channel a little bit deeper. And that's the thing about LX models. Their walls and, you know what I'm saying, their support and thickness of foam is pretty good. It's not like a paper thin stuff here. And as you can tell, that razor blade not going through it too easily. It ain't just sliding through butter here. And I just put this blade on it just a little bit ago. Well, you know, before I started building the jet. Taking the blade now, and I kind of cut on both sides, and taking the blade, just digging that foam out. I hadn't put, after I put my LEDs in the end of the wings, okay, the green one, you know, got the plug here with the lead on it. So when I put this other lead here through there, I got to put this plug on the end of that, okay. Again, we you know, got to do all this, get it in the fuselage. Make sure I got the length of it right and everything. But this is going to take a little while to get all these leads in here, fellas. So you might fast forward if you want to. Now, electric brakes is the same type of lead, two positive and a negative. Control boxes in the fuselage. to be next. I'm going to be pushing it down past the servo leads and then push it way down in there. You can barely, I know I'm not going to be able to get them all, but you can barely maybe get your hand in there so I can just see everything, but I can't see everything. There you are. Wait a minute. That just won't move over into my hand. I'll have to just try it. Try to stuff everything in there. Stuff it in there, stuff it. Get in the hole. Alright, now we're going servo leads. We're going to try to go, since the plane has got a white bottom, you try to put your white light leads up. But, you know, sometimes it don't work that way. I'm going to try to get the gear down tonight. I'm going to see if I can get the gear down. Best I can do in such short notice. Okay. Let me here. Okay. 90-degree angle out. Got the grab a hold from leads here. Pull them through. Pull them through. Pull them through. Oh yeah, I mentioned the other night about my socks on the end of the horns there. I put a bunch of socks on the end of it there, and then put a black pair on the outside, you know, make it look all black. You know. Kenny says, I'm not going to use none of my old socks. I'll get new ones. Well, I put new ones on it. Just not on the outside. I had some old black socks I won't wear no more. Probably wore them once to a funeral. I won't be gluing the missiles on. I've got some decals I've got to put on the missiles, and I've got my other decal sheet too is coming from Motion RC that was on their free wing F-4. And I've got it coming along with the plastic parts for the F-4. I mean, pilots, it's not no law that you can't use parts from another company to put on your plane or jet. There's not no law against it. You can do whatever you want to. You paid the money to buy it, it's yours. Eventually down the road, I might put the FMS system out of the SU-30 or the new 27 into it, like I've done most of my LX models. But I just don't have the money right now to do that. I'm keeping an eye out on that B-17. I'm waiting to see if they even gonna have anything in stock, because I'm not gonna pre-order nothing no more. That's a little bit too much money for me to be letting float out there until they decide to send me something. Drop them anyway. See that? That one went in there pretty good there. It kind of stayed right in line, went right in there. There ain't no way I'd have been able to get all them leads down that little small hole they had cut there. No way. No way. I don't know what they was thinking about. Oh, you gotta be kidding. This thing's just gonna stay on the floor tonight, I guess. It's hitting the dirt. Let's see here. What is it doing? Ain't crooked on me here. Let's see. In the hole. In the hole. It's in the hole. I might take a little foam tack and kind of hit that a little bit here and there. That should be the bottom here. Of course, I could put the missiles and stuff on it right now, but I don't think I can put it on the stand with the missiles on it. Let's see here. Which of my batteries had power? I think I got it in my MIG. Where that battery? I think it's in the MIG. If I can get this 5,000 down in here, I just kind of want to set it down somewhere. It ain't got to be perfect. I need to get this lead. This is a front gear. Yeah, that's what I'm on 5,000. There's one in there. I'm gonna have to put an extension on that. I can tell already. This is the front gear directional, not the operation of the gear, but the directional servo. Remember, the operation of the gear is controlled by the control box. Alright, where am I at here? Get out of the way, label, so I can see the yellow. Line the yellow up with the white. Ooh. Ooh. Let's see here. Goodness gracious. Come on, man. They're cheap Chinese extensions. There we go. There we go. That was a good top one. Alright. So this is LEDs. We won't worry about that right now. Alright. We got the fine BC. Tugging on everything, making sure I got everything pulled up here. I don't see no plugs down in there. Okay. Alright. Landing gear box. Get off of it. Tells you what to plug in there. If I can read it. Okay, this side over here is your gear door. Gear doors. It says lift covers plate, covering plate, right, not left, excuse me. Left covering plate, right covering plate. And then it's got front wheel, back wheel. But see, the back wheel is going to be on a jet. It's going to be on your front wheel. And then you got a channel 5 here, which is a retract. Channel 5 here is a retract, so I don't think it really matters if it's left or right. But we do want to get that polarity correct, and it's marked on the box, positive and negative. It's got some kind of plastic covering that's stopping the plug from going all the way down on the prong. You gotta be kidding me. Come on, man. Unbelievable. How do you expect to get the plug on it with the plastic all over it? got all kind of microchips and everything all in this little box here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 small ones, 5, you know, larger ones. A big resistor and a heat and a resistor there for resistance from the current. Alright, and this has got to tie in to the rudder, which is here. There's my white lead. Put 2 lights in the back. Here is my rudder. So they provide you with some wire harnesses. So I'm going to checking our polarity. I'm going to take a break here in a minute. Need a piece of beef jerky. Alright, and this one goes here. Commercial break. Give me some Pepsi. I hadn't eaten anything. I knew my stomach might start growling here in a minute. That's my brand. And we're back. I remember on Seinfeld when Kramer had the Merv, what was it? One of the TV show hosts back in the 50s or something. Oh, goodness gracious, you gotta be kidding. What are you thinking about? That's the red one, and that's the throttle. This is what I'm wanting right here. Oh, they already got a label on it there for you. So let's see if they got a channel 4 wire harness, for crying out loud. And I would have picked up the only one that's got a label on it. There's the brake controller. I should have just ripped the label off of it and been done with it. Got me a Lemon 7-channel stabilized. It's not autopilot, but it is stabilized. Okay, ailerons. Let's untangle here. Now we got the label on there with the ailerons. Okay. Let me look at it again here with the microscope. Make sure I get that bind channel right. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. Okay. It's always laying there. Why ain't it laying there? It's always something. Fell down there on the bottom. Bind plug. Let's see. That's the throttle. Now, we've got our elevator coming out of the rear. Gear go. My gear. Put that on that plug. And my flaps. Now, not gonna have brakes right now. Not gonna have my LEDs on because I've got to wire them into my flaps. I've got wait and make sure they all work before I glue the LEDs on though. We're going to flaps. Here we go, flaps. Flaps. Get that untangled. It's got to go all the way up here. Try to keep it as you know, organized as possible. But sometimes it's just not possible. Flaps, and I'll put my LEDs into this once I get all the plugs mounted, get wired up. It's got a control box of its own. But I want to get the gear down tonight. So, flaps. I've not heard of any kind of special settings for a lemon. I'm not going to activate any kind of gyros. I'm not going to do anything like that, but I'll tell you one thing I'm going to do is make sure I got my channels assigned to what I want them to be, which is C for gear. I got to turn my flaps on before I can get my flaps on. Okay. And I'm just going to hit my bind here and I'm going to see what it does. I ain't got my BEC hooked up. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh my goodness. Because that's what's got to go in the spare channel is the BEC. So I'm going to take my flaps back out. Which, I don't know if you know or not, but lemon has got 7 channels. So we're going to put this with correct polarity, make sure, because there's only 2 leads coming out of this BEC. So you got to make sure you got that black lead on the bottom and the red lead in the middle. Alright, we're going to hook up our BEC. We got our gear hooked up, we got our BEC hooked up. Got all of our control surfaces hooked up. The battery is ready to plug up. I'm going to reach down here, I'm going to hit bind. Okay. Uh-oh. I know what that is. I got something on the wrong channel. Alright, let me get my magnifying glass. I got the throttle on the wrong channel for some reason. Maybe lemon puts their throttle on number 1. Yep, sure does. I should have checked that. Should have checked that. Let me swap them around here. I got to get the elevators out. See, that's what it is when you're not familiar with a new receiver or a new radio or something. That happens. Like that. Yep, that's the elevator. But them ESCs sure let you know when there's something wrong. Alright, we bind it up, so we shouldn't have to bind no more. We're taking the bind plug out. We got the radio still on. The BEC is in my flaps, so I'm going to put them in my bind plug. And put my flaps back in. Here's your flaps. Alright, we just got everything laid out here. Oh yeah, just laid all out. Alright, my flaps is, yeah, like I said, I hadn't done any kind of setting. They're nuts right now. There it runs. There's the elevator. And some of them, it ain't even right, too. Yeah. I don't have to reverse them. Uh-oh, I'm moving. Let's see. Nope, I got to reverse my rudder. Okay. But I gotta be careful because I'm turning my wheel lines up in the bay here too. But I hadn't checked that yet. See if I got clearance or if anything's screwing up. Don't have to worry about any kind of speeds or trim or travel. Anything like that. Alright, let's go to the main screen. Alright, pilots. Let me check, make sure. Okay. I don't want to do too much now. I got some jets and things back there too. Yeah, just kind of about push my Predator drone through the F-22 over there. Sound good. If it don't sound a lot better than most LXs. Yeah, my slats is out because my flaps is down a little bit. You can see that. Let's see, what switch would that? I got to go in and do all that, and that's in the other screen. I ain't gonna worry about that right now. Okay, but I can see what I've got to do with my surfaces. This one's kind of high here. I'm gonna have to manually do something with that. Yep. Manually, that's almost there. Actually, it's got a 5mm up on this side. Let's see what this has got. And that one's dead on, so I've got to go in. Oh my goodness gracious, Lord have mercy. That ain't gonna be fun doing that one either. That ain't gonna be fun. I'm gonna have to go in here and take one of them covers off, pilots. Oh my God. Yeah, that ain't gonna be fun at all. Yep. I'm gonna have to do some work to get that straightened out. I was hoping them two would be lined up, but they ain't. They ain't lined up a bit. Okay, here we go. Now we might have to, it might take a couple of switches here, a couple times to get the gear to initiate. I don't have my battery in real good, so let me put this here. Okay, has everybody got a good view? Got a good seat? Yep, watch this now. Get my luxurious hair out of the way. Yeah. Pull system. Pull system. And you know, it'll have brakes, of course, you know, but not mine because I ain't got no channels yet. I've got to find some 10 channel receivers, pilots. I looked on RC groups. I found a guy who's got some 10 channel Admirals like I use. But you know how it is, you just got to try to get all the information and everything already and everything. All right, we got a nose cone here I'm gonna put on. Let me see if I can get over here. It's got two little plastic snaps that kind of go into a little, I don't know if you can see that or not. See that little canal over there? Or clip, whatever you want to call it. It slides onto a little ear here. But it's the pain because you got to line it up with the clip on both sides and get it lined up to the nose. Now all this nest will have to be put, you got plenty of room to put everything back up in here. My BEC seems to be working well. My gear seems to be working well. I can't believe that 5,000 fits in there that good, and it can still go back, but I'll just have to check. I can't remember if it was a 4,000 or it could have been a 3,600 that Rich was using on RC Informer review of this jet. I can't remember. I have to watch the video again. But we got a heck of a mess to clean up. Yeah. That's the battery. I'll go way back up in there. I might have to cut his butt and his legs off of that one. Might still have to do that. I have to check CG. And then I've got the missile. I've already got the free wing type hook, you know, tooth and hook, whatever you want to call it. And that is the free wing Maverick. I mean, not Maverick, but Sidewinder missiles off of their F-4, and that's the Maverick off of the free wing A-10 ordnance set. All right, that'll be in the inside of the wing. And then I took me just a little bit of splatter of gray. You know, maybe it ain't quite exactly the same, but it's just a little splatter of gray on my drop tanks, and I'm using the original fastener for it. Painted that silver, just kind of break it up a little bit. I got decals to put on everything. I got my nice, I kind of like my cockpit. It turned out nice. But, like I said before, I got some decals coming, and I got a special surprise I'm gonna show you when it gets here too. It's coming from Motion RC, free wing. Let's see, decals, what was it? Decals and LED covers and my special surprise. So stay tuned. I'm out.